Preston, what's going on, man? It is always good to join you on these calls. I know we've got a pretty cool big update that you guys have been working on a lot here, and it's just getting all the data a little bit more granular, showing off exactly who's doing what and if they're doing it well, if they're faking it. So, like, what do we got today?
Yeah, so I figure we'll just give you a quick little demo here. So this will be open to everyone pretty soon here, the influencer search feature. So our whole thing here is we wanted to be able to create kind of what amounts to like leaderboards on different kinds of influencers across different industries, whether it's crypto or otherwise. And what we want to be able to do is kind of give a high level of which accounts have high influence, as in, are they being followed by very large and influential people themselves? As well as, well, which accounts are active and actually getting a lot of engagement, because sometimes those can be different. So on our app page here, this little hamburger nav menu over here with the little magnifying glass, if you click that, it'll pull you to this search page. And this is actually searching through our database of Twitter users, which at this point today is at about 461 million users. So quite a lot of users.
So we have more users in there that are on Twitter right now, it sounds like. So we still got some of those deleted accounts that have been getting rid of.
Yes, yeah. So we'll have some of those accounts in there, and I guess no one really knows, I guess, except for Twitter, how many accounts are really on there. So we'll do a search for Russ Lang. This is one of our other potential partners here, where they're kind of trying to look for Rust language developers. So
okay, so it looks like you put in a hashtag, right? So we can do hashtag searches in this.
Yeah, so you can do hashtag searches. You can use commas to do like a this or this, and you can also do plus to do like this and this, right? So if I wanted a Russ Lang influencer, for now we just wanted Russ Lang because there's actually not that many of them. There's 309 of them out of 460 million. Only 309 accounts actually have hashtag Russ Lang in there. So
okay, so this is just looking at their bio at this point, right? I know we've got some meta tagging stuff that we'll tease at, but it's not quite ready yet. So this is just looking at people's bios as of the time of this recording.
Yeah, correct. So we have our meta tagging system where you'll be able to create buckets based on those tags. Right now, the description search is what we're working with here. And if you see here, there's also the ability to choose like follower count ranges. So if I was interested in, let's say 10 to 50,000 followers, I can click that and it'll only give me the results of, 10 to 50,000 followers there. And you can see. So I'll take that off for now so we can see all 309 in their glory. So we've already run follower audits on many of these accounts here. So that's why you see reporting the influence score and the follower quality score. So a quick explanation of that. The influence score is really looking at top accounts that are following this account. So for example, we'll sort by that and see, okay, so the top score here in Russ Lang is 40%. That number 40% is across all of the accounts that we've audited on Twitter, which that includes everywhere from Joe Rogan and Elon Musk and Tesla all the way down to your brand new account here. So just to give you an example here, we'll click into Patrick Curl, who is the top there, and that'll take you to the Mainline user profile page. And this is kind of nice to do, just to browse through, okay, well, who actually are the top followers of this account? And you can see, oh, Barack Obama, Britney Spears, Yoko Ono, Whole Foods Market, Paramount Pictures. So pretty higher quality followers there. And it's interesting because he only has about 12,000 followers. So however, those followers are high quality themselves. And that's why he's ranking high on this influence score here.
Cool. So basically that's kind of showing, like, when he makes a post, it's a lot more likely that some of these big people are going to be reading it, seeing it, consuming it somehow, maybe sometimes engaging with it. But essentially he's putting stuff in front of big names,
Correct. Yeah. Now, one thing we don't know is, well, how often does he even post? And so this little button here will actually run all the different audits that we have available. So, oh, look, he actually hasn't posted at all in the past week, right? So obviously 0 posts, he said 0 engagement. Let's actually click through a few of them and see how active some of these are, right? So, oh, Bruce Williams, he scores second on here, and he's actually doing stuff, right? Looks like he posted 10 times over the last week and got a total of 158 engagements. So those engagements include retweets, favorites, replies, quotes. We'll have a tab on these tables to be able to click in to actually see all those numbers. What you're looking at here is kind of the overall page where it shows you, kind of the 30,000-foot view of what's happening here. So, for example, if I was looking to work with someone in Rustlang, that might be active on Twitter and also have a higher influence, this would be the way I could do it, right? It looks like Patrick has very high influence, but isn't very active. Bruce has very high influence, but is a little bit more active. So let's click actually a few more of these and see what we got here. So the engagement audit and the activity audit runs pretty quickly. That's why you see these results populating here very quickly. The follower audits take a little bit longer, which is why those had already been run here. But this kind of gives you a nice little leaderboard where it kind of suggests, okay, well, which people might I want to work with, whether it's directly with collaboration or even something like trying to get them involved in whatever it is you're talking about. Like if you're working on an interesting Rust language project, for one of the layer ones or for whatever you might be interested in here.
Yeah, so like kind of looking through this, we've got this Miko guy who looks like his influencer score. He's like 5 or 6 down right there.
Yeah.
A little bit lower, so he might not have as many big accounts following him, but still he's got 12,000 followers, lots of activity, lots of engagement. Definitely blows everybody else out of the water right now. So I mean, like, he might be a good person to reach out to if I'm a smaller project, have a smaller budget, or really looking for someone who's going to like be in the conversation, be part of the conversation, not just post and ghost like some of the big accounts do.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. So I just clicked into his profile page, and so let's look. Oh, Mark Cuban is listening to him. Martin's willing, near protocol. So these are high quality followers here, right? So again, kind of a smaller follower count, but he's got some big names listening to him here. So that, when you look at these influence score numbers, again, kind of take into account that we're looking across all of Twitter here. So even if he's scoring, like in this case, 18%, that's still pretty high for that low follower count, right? Notice the guy above him, Owner, he has 126,000 followers. So literally 10x the amount of followers, yet his influence score is only slightly higher. And the reason there most likely is a lot of those followers are, lower quality or at least not very high profile accounts. We can look here.
Sure.
So I don't recognize these names here, but a couple of verified accounts. Looks like a lot of foreign accounts. But I don't see any like
it looks like on the left, half of his accounts have under 10 followers. So
yeah, so we can actually look at his audit result there. So this is the follower quality audit result, and it kind of gives you an idea of mostly just the ranges of his followers, right? In a sense, for how many followers do they have, right? So looks like he has 21 verified users out of 126,000, which is pretty low. But he has a pretty high percentage of under 10 followers, which, under 10 doesn't necessarily mean that it's like a bot or an inauthentic account. But when you see really high percentages of under 10, a lot of times it suggests that there's a decent number of bots. And you can contrast that to these other accounts around him on the board here. I mean, the guy who's beating him, Thomas Holloway, has 553 followers, right? So a significantly lower follower count, but let's click in and see what some of those users look like. Oh, Barack Obama. Barack Obama follows a lot of Rust language developers, Coursera, Slack, Eric Swalwell. So Star Talk. So, names that people know, right?
Mhm.
So that's kind of what's really interesting about the influence score, is that it's basically like X-ray vision. So even if someone has 1 million, 2 million followers, if they're scoring low on the influence compared to other accounts that have much lower follower counts, it means that, they're not necessarily that they're all inauthentic, but it just looks slightly worse, right? But this is also really helpful if you're looking to work with these influencers in any form or fashion, because it kind of gives you an idea of relative quality, right? So for example, I might be, as you said, more interested to work with Miko here because he's very active in the conversation. He's getting a decent amount of engagement and his influence score is relatively high. Whereas, Patrick Curl has extremely high influence, but isn't very active. So this is just kind of an easy way for anyone, really in any industry, who's looking to find the right people to work with to, create the genuine community that everyone's really looking to build, especially now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's super cool because just taking a look at someone's follower count, right on Twitter doesn't quite give the whole picture. And sure, you can look through followers, but if someone's got even 10,000 followers, good luck getting through, even a fraction of that to know exactly like what kind of audience they have, things like that. So being able to come in and see and know the size of the people following them is so crucial, so helpful.
Yeah, if anyone's done this work before by hand, it's a little much, like clicking into someone's followers and like scrolling through and kind of seeing. I think Twitter reports it in reverse cron. So the most recent person who clicked follow is the one on the list. So, especially like you say, when there's like many thousands or especially millions, you're like scrolling through here trying to get a sense for what's really going on. So what we're trying to do is, make that process a lot easier. And again, kind of create a bit of X-ray vision for, for large follower counts. We didn't talk too much about follower quality score here. Should I comment on that a little bit as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Like, definitely want to know the quality because we talked about a little bit, so we might as well dive deeper.
Yeah, so the follower quality score is almost more of like a pound for pound kind of thing. So in other words, someone with 10 followers can have a very high follower quality score. Let's say if they had, if they were all verified users or they were all over 100,000 followers themselves. And so what follower quality is kind of looking at is, giving an idea of, the overall quality of everyone that is following that account. So what we found is that anything under 50 is usually suggesting that there's a higher number of like bot followers or lower quality followers. Anything over 50 is, kind of in the green there, and anything over 60 is really good. So just kind of you want to be in the middle of the pack there or above in terms of the follower quality score. So the lower that you get, the worse it looks.
Right. That definitely makes sense because I would figure a majority of Twitter users probably have not that many followers, maybe 25, maybe 100, but probably a lot in that range. So it's natural to see a healthy amount of that, but when you start to get too many that are under 10 or have no followers, then it starts to look pretty suspicious on why like why do you have so many with so few followers? And I know we're working on getting a little bit more granular on that, and I think that's super cool.
Yeah, you got it. And then for anyone that might be experimenting with this later, let's see. So this had no audits run so far. So if you notice, I clicked the little button there, it ran the engagement audit really quickly, and it sent the, this account to the follower audit queue, which we're processing thousands of audits per day. So depending on the follower count, that could take a few minutes to a few hours. So you can always come back in and see what the results are. Sometimes you'll get errors, and that's if the account got banned. So those will be removed from the list later. So like you notice, insomnio code, it errored out there. So that means this account was likely banned or suspended, or they deleted their account. So one last idea here, we're not showing it here yet. They're all dashes here, but the engagement quality score is kind of the final high level score that we'll be delivering. And similar to the influence score, it's looking at, okay, this account got 10,000 retweets and this other account got 10,000 retweets over the past week. How do you know which engagement looks better? And so we use the same proprietary scoring system that we have in the influence score to give you an idea of the overall engagement quality. And so things that would score high are, let's say, well, let me on the other side, things that would score low. If someone had 10,000 retweets on a post, but all of the accounts that retweeted it were made in the same day, let's say, and that's pretty fishy. That probably suggests something fishy going on there. That would score lower than someone who got 10,000 retweets where, the age of accounts of all of those retweeters were more distributed. And we have a variety of other metrics that go into that score there. But that's kind of the idea, is that rewards for variance, which tends to mean more authentic.
That's really cool. And I think probably a really important number as people are looking into these influencers, especially if you're a VC firm or a project where you're trying to hire one of these people. You want to know that the engagement that they're getting in their post is from real people, and not these kind of like coordinated engagement farm kind of things that inflate their numbers, but you're also not going to get any new customers, users, or anything like that from your project, because none of them are actually real. None of them are real people.
Exactly. So yeah, the whole thing is about, kind of giving a little bit more visibility and a little bit of X-ray vision to anybody who needs it, really. So this should be open pretty soon. It actually might be open now. But at the time of this video being posted, it should be open. So it's just going to app.getmainline.com, creating an account with us, and then clicking over here in the little magnifying glass. And again, that's searching through a large and growing database of users that we have here. So I think let's see, I just typed in crypto plus influencer. So that means I want someone who has crypto and influencer in their description here. And here we go. And I can sort by the audits that we've run so far and see, oh, these are the highest influence crypto influencers.
There's some solid scores there.
Yeah. So that's the high level of everything there. If anyone has any questions, obviously hit us up in Discord or Telegram. We're delivering this data to a variety of different parties right now. So from VCs to projects, to non-crypto companies that are, more in the kind of direct to consumer space as well, who are very interested, obviously, in working with these kinds of influencers to, to kind of expand their brand and build authentic communities around what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I know we focus a lot of our messaging and things on the crypto community because that's something we're very passionate about, helping weed out a lot of the junk that needs to get blown out of there. But any industry that's heavily based in influencer marketing, or you need to know the legitimacy of influencers, like this is going to be perfect for you. This is going to be really helpful, save you a lot of headaches, because that's the other thing too. It's not just wasted marketing dollars when you pick the wrong influencer. It's going to hurt your reputation. It's going to hurt the trust in your community and different things like that if they're finding out you're paying all these people who are fake. And it doesn't look good. That doesn't look good as a business owner.
Yeah, for sure. So I just typed in fitness, wellness, health. So anyone with any of those three words in their description would come up. Fitness and wellness seem to be, obviously pretty heavy spaces for, working with good influencers. And so this is, again, kind of a really interesting and easy way to figure out, okay, who should I work with? Like, oh, this guy, Boot. Yeah, he had over 100 posts over the last week, 1,400 engagement, decently high influence for a low follower count like that. That might be an interesting person to reach out to. Our Boot Amdallah. Boot, if you're watching this, great job. Keep up the good work. So yeah, that's kind of the high level. Let's see. Let me just see. Let's say you wanted like 50 to 100K followers. Let's see what that does. Searching through 460 million users sometimes takes a minute there. So here you go. So again, a lot of people won't have audits run already, and that's where, like, as users of the platform, click away, right? Start as many audits as you want. The more audits we run, the better our data gets, the bigger our database gets, and the better our results get. So, you know, we're inviting everyone to basically just do an audit frenzy. And then you're also able to share those results too. So you can actually tweet the, you know, the profile pages themselves, or you can tweet the audit results themselves, and it automatically creates the, you know, the post for you in Twitter so that you can share. So whether that's your own profile or an influencer that you're trying to expose, or a project that you're trying to brag about, you know, all that's there for you.
Super cool. I mean, lots of really awesome stuff that you're going to be able to find out and figure out. I mean, this is just the beginning. We've got so much more I know that we're working on. We don't really want to talk about yet. We're working with a lot of big people that have access to some really good stuff to help suss out even more details and things like that. So yeah, while, you know, before we start the kind of monthly subscription, get in here, check out the info, refresh this, get the data in here, and, you know, take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And any groups that, you know, are kind of have that similar problem of, I really need to suss out which people should I talk to and work with, that enhance my brand rather than cost me a lot of unnecessary money and attention and potentially damage to my brand. This system here can help ameliorate some of those problems.
I like it. I like it a lot. This is a huge update. I think people are really going to love this one. Getting deeper in the weeds there, and we've got more coming, right, Preston?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, look, we only have 3 of these nav tabs open right now, right? We have the dashboard, which takes you to your profile page of, you know, the account, your actual Twitter account. This influencer search page you just went through, and then our original maps with the virality maps of all the different conversations. So all this stuff is building a really robust system of, you know, of services that people will be able to benefit from, not only in finding the right people to work with, but also figuring out the right conversations to get involved in at the right time and the right place with the right stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, love these updates and getting this out to all of our fans and users, and it's gonna be great stuff. I'm looking forward to the next one. I know we're going to keep pushing things out faster and faster as we go, so stay tuned, everybody. Appreciate your time as always, Preston, and
Thank you.
let's keep making social media a better place.
Hell yeah.